standard coordination compounds. In that coordination compound, the bonding between central atom and ligand is explained by the following theories: Werner theory, valence bond theory, crystal field theory, ligand field theory, molecular orbital theory. We already learned Werner theory. In this video, we are going to learn valence bond theory.
Werner theory, the bonding between the central atom and the ligands are considered Lewis acid and Lewis base interaction. But that valence bond theory, the next theory is valence bond theory. It is proposed by Linus Pauling. It assumes that the bond between the central atom and the ligands are purely covalent bond. And the next one, the crystal field theory. It is proposed by Bethe and Van Welk, that they consider that the interaction between the metal atom and central metal atom and the ligands are electrostatic force. And next theory is ligand field theory. It is a complicated theory and it considers the both electrostatic interaction and covalent bonding between the central atom and ligand. And molecular orbital theory, this theory we already studied in our 11th standard. It is the linear combination of atomic orbitals. They give the molecular orbital theory. So under this theory, here we are going to learn about valence bond theory. According to valence bond theory, the bond between the central atom and the ligand, it is formed by the overlap of filled ligand orbital which containing a lone pair of electron with a vacant hybridized orbital of central atom. The first point, the ligand with the metal atom, it is a covalent nature. The bond between the ligand and the metal atom is a covalent nature. The next point, the each ligand should possess one filled orbital with a lone pair of electron. The third point, the central metal atom should possess a vacant orbital. Fourth one, the vacant orbital of central metal atom undergo hybridization. We already learned about this hybridization. How it is happen means that atomic orbital which having the comparable energy with the equal number, they form the new orbital. Under combination they form a new orbital that is called as hybridized orbital. That hybridized orbital now have same energy. Fifth point, now the vacant hybridized orbital linearly overlap with the filled orbitals of ligands and they form coordinate covalent sigma bond between central metal atom and ligand. This is fifth point. And sixth point, now the hybridized orbitals are directional in nature. What is directional means they possess in a particular direction only. So particular direction means it gives a definite geometry. Now we have two types of geometry. One is square planar, another one is octahedral. Square planar means it gives the square shaped geometry, and octahedral it gives the octahedral geometry. Octahedral means that is 6 ligands around the central metal atom. Before enter into the seventh point, while we are arranging the energy of electron, while we writing the electronic configuration of electron, after 4s we write 3d. So that 4s, the 4 is n means the 3 is n minus 1. Now so you see that in octahedral complexes they mention that n minus 1 d orbitals are involved in hybridization, means that n minus 1 d orbital is called as inner orbital complexes or low spin complexes or spin paired complexes. Sometimes nd orbitals are involved in hybridization. They are called as outer orbital or high spin or spin free complexes. Here the n values indicated that principal quantum number. Next, eighth point, the central metal atom which contains unpaired electron means it is called as paramagnetic. Sometimes the central metal atom containing the electrons are paired means they are called as diamagnetic. Here the ligands are classified into strong field ligands and weak field ligand. Here on the ninth point it shows that strong field ligand. Which are strong field ligand means the carbonyl, cyanide, ethylene diamine and ammonia present in the complexes, they cause pairing of electron in the central metal atom. They called as strong field ligand. And 10th point, greater the overlapping between the ligand orbital and hybridized metal orbital gives a bond strength has a stronger one, that is greater one. In this tabular column, first of all you see the example. Through the example we have to find out the coordination number. After that hybridization, that hybridization on seeing the mere seeing the example only we can't find out, but it has some steps. Through steps only we have to find out that hybridization. Based on this hybridization only we have to conclude that which geometry that example possesses. Now see the first example. In dichlorido copper, that around the copper we have 2 chlorine, so the coordination number is 2. The same way in dicyanide argentite. Here also around the silver 2 cyanide is present, so the coordination number is 2. Here we afterward we process some steps, we find out that hybridization is sp. So based on this hybridization the geometry is linear geometry. The second example, triiodido and not argentite, it is a mercury. Here the coordination number is 3 because around the mercury we have 3 iodine, so 3, and after the steps we find out that the hybridization is sp2, so geometry is trigonal planar. Next third one, here tetracarbonate nickel, around the nickel 4 carbonyl is present, so coordination number is 4 and hybridization is sp3. Based on this hybridization the geometry is tetrahedral. And fourth one, here that nickel, around the nickel 4 cyanido is present, so here also coordination number 4, but under the steps it's going on we get hybridization is dsp2. So it is a dsp2 means the geometry is square planar. So in the coordination number 4, based on hybridization, sp3 hybridization means it is a geometry tetrahedral. Hybridization dsp2 means it is square planar. Next one, fifth one, that is iron is surrounded by 5 carbonyl. Here that 5 carbonyl means that hybridization is dsp3 and geometry is trigonal bipyramidal. And last 2 example, around the central atom we have 6 ligands. Please see the example. So 6 ligands means it automatically geometry is octahedral only, but hybridization will be changed. See the first hybridization dsp3, the next hybridization is sp3d2. After the example only you can get an idea about this hybridization, so don't bother about now, we will see the example, then only you can get a clear idea about that hybridization. In the first illustration the complex is tetracarbonate nickel. It is a neutral complex. So first of all we have to find the oxidation number for nickel. So put X for nickel and plus 4 into 0 means the carbonyl oxidation number is 0. So 4 into 0 equal to the complex also it a neutral complex, so equal to 0. Now we get the oxidation number for nickel is X equal to 0 now. Now the nickel atomic number is 28. So electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d8. Now first of all we write the electronic configuration. 3d8 means the electron is filled in 5 orbitals in d orbital. Now the 4 is having 2 electron, that is also filled here. Now the around the nickel we have ligand. What ligand we are having? 4 carbonyl ligand. That carbonyl ligand is a strong field ligand. So the strong field ligand causes the 2 electron in the s orbital goes to 3d orbital. So the 8 electron now become as 10 electron. The unpaired electrons now become as a paired electron. That now that 4s is 0. After 4s we have 4p orbital also. We are going to conclude. We are going to include here Now that green I indicated, that green color orbital now go into hybridization in the central atom. So central atom, which one is central atom? Nickel is a central atom. That is one orbital and p3 orbital goes into hybridization. So we get sp3. How many sp3 we are getting? 4 sp3 orbitals we are getting. So sp3 hybridized orbital are 4 orbital. That 4 orbital, the empty orbitals, that electrons from the carbonyl is going to be occupied. Now hybridization is sp3, so coordination number is 4. So under the hybridization sp3 means the geometry is tetrahedral. Now see that there is no unpaired electron, all the one is paired. So the unpaired electron is 0. So unpaired electron present means that is called as diamagnetic. Afterward, the magnetic moment we calculated from the formula square bracket of n into n plus 2. But here there is no unpaired electron, so n means unpaired electron, number of unpaired electron. So 0 into 0 plus 2 means we get the magnetic moment is 0 here. Illustration 2, the given complex is tetracyanidonickellate. Here we are going to find out the oxidation number of nickel. So minus 2 is the net charge, is equal to, the x is the oxidation number of nickel. We don't know that, so that put x plus 4 into minus 1. Minus 1 is for the cyanide. So we get the oxidation number for nickel is now plus 2 after calculation. The nickel atomic number is 28. First of all, write the electronic configuration. We get 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d8. Now the nickel in the oxidation number is plus 2. First of all, we find out in the first step only. So the plus 2 means what, the 2 electron is goes out. So we have to take the 2 electron from the 4s. Why we have to take the 4s means the 4s orbital only present at the outside. So we are going to take the 2 electron from 4s. Now the 4s is become as 0. I indicated in green color. The next step, the 3d orbitals containing 8 electron. First of all, the 8 electron is filled. The next one, the 4s is 0, and afterward we have to put the 4p orbital also. Here the cyanide is a strong field ligand, so the strong field ligand always causes the 3d orbital electron into pair. Now see that 3d 8 electrons, how it is present in the third step, and now how it is present in the fifth step. What happening there? The 2 lone pair electron now going to the fourth orbital of 3d orbital. That fifth orbital is now empty. I put it in orange color. See that the fifth orbital in 3d orbital is empty. Why it is empty means because of the cyanide is a strong field. It pair the fifth orbital to fourth orbital in 3d orbital. Now we are the central orbital now going to the hybridization. So which orbitals are going to hybridization means the 3d fifth orbital and 4s orbital and 4p 2 orbital. I indicated in orange color. So what is the hybridization now is dsp2. It is a dsp2 hybridization, and coordination number around the nickel 4 cyanide is present, so coordination number is 4, and it that undergo hybridization means we get 4 dsp2 hybridization. So that blue color electrons from the cyanide ligands give the blue color electron this hybridized orbital. Coordination number 4 and hybridization dsp2 means the geometry is now square planar. We already see in the table, previous table. Now there is no unpaired electron, so unpaired electron means it is 0, and it is also diamagnetic. Paired means paramagnetic, unpaired electron means diamagnetic. Now magnetic moment from the formula square root of n into n plus 2. What is n means number of unpaired electron, but there is no unpaired electron, so put 0 means 0 into 0 plus 2 we get 0 for magnetic moment. In this third illustration, the given complex is hexacyanidofferrate. The complex having net charge 3 minus, put the minus 3 is equal to, what is x here? that oxidation number of ion we don't know, so put X. Next one, 6 into minus 1, the minus 1 for cyanide oxidation number is minus 1. So we get the answer for oxidation number of ion is now plus 3. The ion atomic number is 26. Afterward, write the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d6. Now, the ion is plus 3 state. In first step, we find out the oxidation number of ion is plus 3. So, plus 3 means what? 3 electron is goes to be lost. So, the 4s give the 2 electron and the 3d electron give 1 electron, so that with 3 electron we that it is go out. Next, in the third step we have to write the outer electron orbitals alone. So outer electron means the 3d5 electron and then 4s electron and then 4p also we have to include. Now 3d5 means the each orbital having single electron. Here the cyanide is a strong field ligand. Strong field ligand always causes the 3d electron in a pair. So in the 3d5 orbitals are now become as a paired one. The first orbital become paired and second orbital become paired, but third one alone having only one electron, and fourth and fifth there is no electron in the 3d orbital. Now it is the central atom now undergo hybridization. The green color indicated boxes alone goes into hybridization. So in 3d 2 orbitals and 4s 1 orbital and 4p 2 orbital. So what is the hybridization here means d2sp2. Now that hybridization, how many orbitals undergo hybridization? 5 orbitals. 5 orbitals means we get 5 hybridized orbitals. See the in next step, the blue color electron indicated in d2sp3 hybridized orbital are getting from the cyanide ligand. Now the hybridization is d2sp3. Coordination number is 6 means we get the geometry octahedral, but the complexes are called now is a inner d orbital because the d from the 3d we are getting the 3d means what is the n value here means the 4 is now n means the 3 how do you get the 3 value? N minus 1, so that n minus 1 d orbital undergo hybridization, so they are called as inner orbital complexes. Please recall our valence bond theory. It is indicated in one of the point. Inner orbital complexes means n minus 1 d orbital. Now there is unpaired electron 1 is present in the 3d orbital. Third orbital you see that only one rose color is present, that is unpaired electron. So only one unpaired electron is present, so it is a paramagnetic. Afterward we have to calculate the magnetic moment from the formula square root of n into n plus 2. N value put 1 means 1 into 1 plus 2 we get square root of 3. Square root of 3 means the value is 1.732 magnetic moment. In this illustration 4, what is the complex is given means hexafluoridocobalt 3 minus. So the net charge is minus 3 and put X for cobalt and fluorine minus 1. How many fluorine is there? 6 fluorine. 6 into minus 1. We get the oxidation number for cobalt is now plus 3 after calculation. The second step, cobalt oxidation atomic number is 27. The electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d7. Now cobalt in the 3 plus state means we have to take the 3 electron. I am going to take the 2 electron from 4s orbital and 1 electron from the 3d7. Now see the 3d6 orbital how it is distributed here. In first orbital we are having 2 electron rose color, and the second, third, fourth, fifth having single electron only, and 4s there is no electron and 4p there is no electron. We have to include 4d also in this illustration because that 4d also going into the hybridization. See the hybridization step here. The 4s is indicated in green color and 4p 3 orbitals are indicated in green color and 4d 2 orbitals are indicated in green color. Now the fluorine is a weak field ligand, so it never the pair the 3d orbitals. 3d orbital containing 4 unpaired electron. The 4 unpaired electron as it is we are writing there. Now hybrid, after the hybridization, how many hybridized orbital included here? 5, so that we get sp3d2 5 hybridized orbital. In this hybridized orbital, the blue color electron, where we getting that blue color electron? From the fluorine ligand only we are getting that blue color electron. Now hybridization is sp3d2 and coordination number 6 means the geometry is octahedral geometry, and we have to see that there is 4s 4p 4d, the same n alone it is undergo. So the 4d means that the orbital is called as outer orbital complex. N minus 1d orbital means it is called as inner orbital complex. It is the same n value alone we are having, so it is a outer orbital complex. Now how many unpaired electrons are there? 4. The 4 rose color is unpaired electron, so it is a paramagnetic because of presence of unpaired electron. The next one, magnetic moment. Magnetic moment formula is square root of n into n plus 2. Put the n value 4, we get the magnetic moment value is 4.899 bm. Of VBT theory. This theory does not explain about the color of the complexes. The second one, it considers the spin only magnetic moment. There are some other components of magnetic moment. That magnetic moment does not explained by this VBT theory. And third one, some orbitals are having inner orbital, some complexes having outer orbital. That why they are having that inner, why they are having outer, there is no proper explanation in this valence bond theory. It is evaluate sum, it is given in your book. Tetrachlorido magnetate 2 minus. Here we have to calculate the oxidation number of manganese. We get the oxidation number of manganese is 2 plus. Manganese atomic number 25. So electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d5. That oxidation number we find out 2 plus. So 2 electron we have to take it. Where you have to take the 2 electron? The 4s only, because the 4s orbital alone in the outer side. So we have to take 2 electron from 4s. Now see that the 3d electron having 5 electron, the 5 electron indicated in the picture, and 4s there is no electron, and 4p also there is no electron. The chlorine is a weak field ligand, so it never pair the 3d electrons. Now which one is going to hybridization means I indicated in rose color, the 4s orbital and 3p orbital of 4p orbital undergo hybridization. So totally 4 orbital, so we get 4 sp3 hybridized orbital. That sp3 hybridized orbital occupies some electron. That electron, where we get from the electron? The chlorine alone give the electron to the sp3 hybridized orbital. Keep it in mind that electrons from the 4 chlorine gives the electron to 4 sp3 hybridized orbital. Now hybridization is sp3 we find out, and coordination number 4 means we have the geometry tetrahedral, and there is in 3d orbital there is 5 electrons are unpaired electron. So unpaired electron present means it is a paramagnetic, and we have to find the magnetic moment from the formula square root of n into n plus 2. N value here 5, so we get the magnetic moment 5.9 bm. Next example, tetrachlorido gopaltate 2 minus. Gopal atomic number 27. So electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d7. After calculation we get the oxidation number for gopaltate is 2 plus. So 2 plus means we have to take 2 electron from the 4s orbital. Now see the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s0 and 3d7. Now the 3d7 having 7 electron, the electron are distributed in 3d orbital are first 2 orbital having 2 electron and third, fourth, fifth orbital having 1 electron. Now which one is going to hybridization means the 4s and 4p3 orbital undergo hybridization. I indicated in rose color box, that is they alone undergo hybridization, and chlorine is a weak field ligand, so it never pair the electron in the 3d orbital. We have unpaired electron, so it is a paramagnetic, and magnetic moment value from the formula square root of n into n plus 2, n value put 3 because 3 unpaired electron there, so 3 into 3 plus 2 means the magnetic moment value 3.87 bm. In this question, one complex is given. The central atom is cobalt, around that ethylene diamine 2 and chlorine 2 and 1 bromine. It may be a counter ion or it may be a ligand. So AB2 form is given. The B form reacted with the silver nitrate, it gives white precipitate and it is soluble in ammonium hydroxide. Whereas in A gives a pale yellow precipitate. So we have to write the A and B formula means the first B give the white precipitate means the chlorine should be outside the square bracket because it is a counter ion. The counter ion Cl minus reacted with the silver nitrate, we get AgCl as a precipitate. AgCl is a white precipitate means the B complex is only white precipitate giving means what is B formula is here means, see the formula is given, the complex formula. Inside the square bracket cobalt, ethylene diamine and 1 chlorine and 1 Br. Outside the square bracket 1 chlorine is present. That chlorine alone gives the counter ion, that is free ion, that is reacted with the silver nitrate, gives white precipitate AgCl. Now what is A means, the A give the pale yellow precipitate, the pale yellow precipitate given by the bromide ion. So the A complex is given as inside the square bracket cobalt, ethylene diamine and 2 chlorine, and outside the square bracket bromine alone present. That bromine go into the counter ion in the water, that Br minus reacted with the silver nitrate gives AgBr, that AgBr is a pale yellow precipitate. Now we find out AB complexes. Next they ask the question, calculate, state the hybridization of cobalt and calculate their spin only magnetic moment. For that next slide we explain that question. Before that we have to find out the oxidation number for central atom. See the first complex, I am going to take the first complex, that net charge is +1 is equal to x. X is the oxidation number of cobalt and 2 into 0, the 0 for ethylene diamine and -1 for chlorine and another -1 for chlorine or bromine. So +1 is equal to x minus 2. We get the value for x is +3. This +3 is oxidation number of cobalt. Now cobalt atomic number is 27, electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d7. The cobalt oxidation number 3+, we have to take the 3 electron from the 4s orbital and 3d 1 electron, so we get 4s0, 3d6. Now write the 3d6 means 3d orbital, first orbital having 2 electron, remaining 4 orbital having single electron only, and 4s there is no electron and 4p also there is no electron. The En is a strong field ligand, so it pair the 3d electron. Now see the 3d electron, 3d 6 electron, how it is happen means first 3 orbital having now paired electron and 4th and 5th there is no electron. Now that 3d 2 orbital and 4s 1 orbital and 4p 3 orbital undergo hybridization, so we get d2 sp3 hybridization. Under this hybridization we get the geometry octahedral and there is no unpaired electron, all the one are paired, so n value equal to 0. You put the n value in the magnetic moment formula, the square root of n into n plus 2, we get the magnetic moment is 0 now.